Okay, Nohea, obviously the string video. Got the 4 leathers. First, check them for the thickness, like width-wise. You want the 2 thickest ones width-wise, in the middle 2. I've already figured out which ones are which. So I'm going to show you how I put them in. Obviously you want the slick side forward. Put it in the side with the holes first. One thing I noticed about the stick that you strung, you didn't do this as tight as you possibly could, and I know a lot of people don't, but if you don't want your stick to bag, I'd say just do it as tight as possible. So I pull it all the way up like that, and you can even see the hole. It's pretty blurry in this camera. And then I pull down, I crank it as tight as you possibly can get it. So sorry for the filming if it's not too great. But obviously go through the next hole. Keep it as tight as possible through both of them. See in the back of that, see where that hole is located? It's right up against it. You want it just, like I said, as tight as possible. Everything you do, keep it tight. Okay, so Nohea, I did all 4 the same. Space them out evenly. And then for the bottom, take the leathers, put them up through the holes. And then you don't have to get them real tight right now. But the 2 middle ones go through the middle. And then the side ones go through between the side leather and the middle leather. Then I use a Lysol bottle. It's probably like the best thing. I don't know. You just can go get one of these or anything with this radius really. Put it in the middle. I know a lot of people string around balls, but I string it around this. And then basically pull all the leathers as tight as you can across this. Let's see what I'm trying to do here. So once you get those as tight as you can, like they're all real tight, not much, this one's a little loose, so. Then I like to take the 4 leathers in the back and see where they're located in between each of those. I take them, keeping them tight like always, everything's got to be tight. I wrap them around the front and just tie a knot. This should keep the leathers. You might have to adjust it once or twice while stringing, but this should keep the leathers decently tight.
It's in Jimbo's room.
See what I'm doing?
You're in Jimbo's room.
So it just acts as a knot to keep those tight. All these are still tight. Okay, now Nohea, I have the cross lace obviously. I use 13 feet. It usually ends with a decent amount on each side, but I'd rather have extra because sometimes, depending on how many diamonds you do, you get screwed. We're going to start on this side leather, and I use this, which is it's a leather punch, but I kind of just put it in. You know where the cross lace goes between the leather and the head. I use this just to help me keep it tight, but then get the end of the cross lace through. It's pretty. I mean, I use the leather punch for a lot of different things. Then I do over the top double for the side that I'm going to leave. You'll see why I leave this. So I just do about double, and that's going to be the cross lace between this and the sidewall. With that, then I just tie it off on the sidewall. You save the sides for the very end. So I mean, you can just do whatever you need to do to get it to stay tight. I just loop it a few times, and then that makes it so I can pull this tight. Here, zoom out just a little. I can pull this tight without this moving. Okay, then you start. Now I'm going to start doing the diamonds. I'm going to show you what I do, then you'll see like 2 or 3 on each row, and then it's probably going to zoom up real fast for the sake of the video. Okay, so for this leather, you're going to go under it first, and then under the leather, and then above on this side, and then just pull it through. And pull it tight. Make sure you're keeping this tight. If you leave that slack, that's gonna adjust the pocket. So I put it right towards the bottom of it, like to keep that tight down, and it's real tight. It's not. See how it's barely moving? Then on this leather, you want to keep these evenly spaced. I went about an inch down on this one, so I'm gonna do an inch down from that on there, and on this one you go over the leather. Can you see? Over the leather, around and through. Then, like I said, keep it tight and try to make, here, zoom out a little. Try to make this and this be the same length in between, and that'll create equal diamonds. So right there, this one and this one are the equal length, and they're both tight. And then it's the same thing back and forth all the way down until you get to the very bottom. Now I'm not going to say much, but you can watch me do it, and I'll do it decently quick. Sometimes you have to shorten up the diamonds at the bottom just to keep it so you can end on the middle leather. So now some spot you're going to want to see. You do the under and over, just like you've been doing all the way down. But to make sure it doesn't loop, and I noticed on the stick that you didn't do this. It's something that I've learned. Okay, I'm going to, Rvetto's the guy filming. I'm going to need to get close. Okay, what you're going to do, you have the normal knot that you've been making the whole way down. You're going to take your fingers, pinch right here, pull it all the way across, so these two lines are parallel. You're going to come under with your cross lace and through a little loop right here. So I don't know if you can see what I just did there. See how there's this loop and the cross lace comes under and through. So then pull it all the way through, however many feet you got. Okay, now you can kind of see the knot that it's going to make. Make sure you're keeping this really tight and these parallel. And then you're pulling it as hard as you can. You see that little S that it makes? That's going to keep that from moving up or down. How tight it is, this is not going to move anymore. The knots up here, they can shift a little. This one's not going to be moving at all. Okay, now I'm going to start going up this middle row. On the middle row, or up this middle leather. Here, zoom out just a little, Rvetto. Okay. Like I said, keep these two parallel. The middle one is going to be, this one is going to be over and then under and around. Here's how you get equal diamonds. This leather's, every knot that you put on this leather wants to be equal with the knot that you put on this leather. So when I make this knot,